All right. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, I'm Nathan Becraft. I'm a member of Honu Sumo Club.
Hey, San Diego, rainy San Diego. Tell me, what got you into sumo?
Going all the way back.
Yeah.
I grew up in Japan, and when I was about 9 years old, that's when Konishiki was coming up in sumo. So then my dad started going oh, there's an American who just made ozeki. Well, he'd been in sumo, so he just made ozeki. So we started watching sumo then. And when we moved to America, I started watching it less, but probably about 6 years ago, my brother had gotten really back into sumo, and then I started working with a guy at work who's also a member of our club, and he was really into sumo, has been for over 30 years, and so I started getting really interested in sumo. And then what was it, right before the pandemic, I was going to Japan on a trip in November, and I think the clincher was when my friend Genji just said hey, you may not be going to Fukuoka, but they have super fast trains. And I was like, super fast trains. So I did a day trip from Kyoto all the way to Fukuoka to go to the tournament there, and that was the clincher. I was in, cool atmosphere there, small venue, and yeah, it was done. And then of course the pandemic binge watching of everything sumo that happened. And
how do you watch it?
So I used to just watch highlights of Nato Sumo, but now I've gotten ridiculous and I watch special programs on NHK, and I watch keiko practice from Futagoyama Bea's YouTube channel, all kinds of stuff. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nato Sumo, #1. Nato Sumo.
Yeah, it's the best edited and all the stats, and
I like the little character.
Yeah,
the little character comes in and he says his little things, and it's so Japanese translated that it's sometimes it makes no sense, and you're yes.
Yeah, where it's English. I think the person's probably in Scandinavia somewhere, but it still manages English, and so so that's cool. That's where I watched it, and I think the last tournament, I had January, I had COVID, so I actually started just watching it Makushita live on YouTube and stuff like that, just because I was homesick. So yeah. So now I probably will start doing that in the evening.
Right? Basho's right around the corner. Who is your favorite current?
Ooh, in Ozumo?
Yeah.
That's so hard.
Yes.
Because my heart just says Ura. Just Ura. Because he's just so much fun to watch, and the way even when he loses, he falls down in the crowd, and he's just gomen nasai, sumimasen, and he just gets back in, and he's just so happy to be there. So because that Ura, probably style of sumo that I kind of like, Hokuto Fuji. I keep getting my head bashed in keiko, so I can definitely relate to him.
So that's the guy, if you're going to if you had to be his style of sumo is my style of sumo.
Yeah, probably him.
And you aspire to be Ura.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
I know, everybody wishes they could be Ura, and then, they watch the replay, it's I don't look like Ura.
They're just magic. Just magic.
He's just magic. Even when he loses, he's magic. It's just because he'll do a little twirly thing, and it's awesome.
Throw people with his neck.
With his neck, yeah. So he's great. Yeah. He's just, he's awesome. I like him. So.
What got you into practicing amateur sumo?
So that was that I needed to I was riding a desk at work, and putting on weight and not very fit. And I was looking for something to get really involved. And I was looking for something in San Diego. And then I found that there was a local sumo club here in San Diego. And I was I'm doing this. And it was a coincidental New Year's resolution. I don't make those, but it just happened to be their first weekend after New Year's. And it's fun. Now, even though I'm still figuring out what my style of sumo is, and I'm middle-aged and all that, it's still a really fun way to oh, that's what that technique feels like. Now I have an appreciation of what I'm seeing on TV, kind of for what that feels like when your body's hitting somebody else and somebody does a move to you. And so it's just a lot of fun, and the community's great.
It's amazing. It's weird because we talked about this with Mike before, and Mike was I thought I was going to come in and everybody was going to be a hard Marine, just let's get after it, blah blah blah. He's no, everybody's bubbly and fun, and we talk and we chat and make fun, and it's just we're just chilling.
Yeah, the community is a lot of fun. And I think for my like why actually doing sumo, it's just how much fun it is. You know, and that's the thing I like about sumo overall is like it captures this, having grown up in Japan, this aspect of Japanese culture of like the festival, the kind of vibrant, you know, daily life. Like the stereotypes of Japan are like all like tea ceremonies and reserve and all that, but sumo really captures that other kind of Shinto, like active, you know, community, everybody together sort of, you know, feel. And so I like that, you know, the amateur community still has that kind of thing. And when somebody good shows up to practice and brings new techniques and new experience, like it's never like a sense of insecurity. It's always like, ooh, look what you're bringing. And it's like a challenge of let's all just keep getting better together, which is really cool.
If you had a goal for amateur sumo, what would it be? And we can do like layers to it. We could do your own personal one, and then we can do one that what you would aspire to see in the community.
So I think me personally, like I'm starting sumo in my mid 40s. Like I'm gonna become like a sumo mom or like a koenkai person as soon as my like knees give out. You know, like every club, you know, heya needs a koenkai. You know, I don't mind stepping into that role. I'm not too proud to be like, okay, my knees are shot. I'm too old for this. That's cool. I think.
Should we do a hair cutting ceremony?
Like, I don't think I would earn that now. No, I would never be able to, like, I'd be like, no, I won't be kicked out and have to do it offsite. I don't ever want to get there. But
Jake Book from Ohio Sumo has a really good one where he's like, when I retire, instead of it being a hair cutting ceremony, it'll be cutting my mawashi and then framing a portion of it.
There you go.
And I was like, oh, that actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's actually good. Well, and like adding rituals is cool. Yeah.
Right.
I think like for amateur sumo overall, you know, I think what trying to bring in kids more is another thing I like about the club, that our club is that it's very community oriented, having, you know, kids involved, because, you know, you can't just grow a real sport that like maybe eventually would hopefully get into like the Olympics by just having people start it, you know, when they're 18, 19, 20, you know, and they're like, I want to start dabbling in this. It's like, you know, you got to start bringing up people younger and get them involved and passionate, and it is a do-it-yourself kind of community. And so, you know, hopefully we can grow it up from the ground up. So I'm thinking more like long term, you know, like let's start raising up some kids doing this young, and, you know, maybe 10, 15 years from now, we're there. If we're there faster, awesome.
Yes.
But
yes.
Yeah. So I think that's where we're shooting for. I mean, like I was having breakfast today at like just having Mexican breakfast, and there was like demolition derby on TV, and I was like, if that can be a huge thing that's on TV all the time, like why can't sumo at least get that kind of airplay and that kind of involvement in numbers? It's like I'm not saying like everybody's got their hobby, I'm not dissing it, and just like if that can be a thing, sumo can definitely be a thing.
For sure. Let's see. Who is your favorite amateur sumo wrestler? You've witnessed a tournament.
Yeah.
So you've seen so many different styles. Everything from little tater tots going all the way to lightweights to heavyweights, and there's so many different styles.
There are a lot of
styles. The SoCal Open, the 2024 SoCal Open, and don't forget 2025. We're coming back last weekend of February, most likely.
Got to get the plug in.
Hey,
I get it. Man. You know, partially it's because I lost to him in a totally like ignominious way. But watching him wrestle throughout the rest of the day and wrestling other people, and I've seen like him wrestle online, is just Danny Avila. Like the combination of size, power, and the mobility he has is great. I felt the power.
This is small.
That's what he was saying, is that he's like 50 pounds below what he his ideal preferred weight. So this is small Danny. So this is him, you know, only a few inches taller than me and only 15 pounds heavier, and I felt the power.
He's also 25.
Whew, 25. And that's the consolation I take, and that's the plug for middle-aged people taking up sumo. Your pride, you can immediately, like, if you're losing, you can write it off as saying, like, you know, that guy was half my age. It's okay, you know. So it's just good to get out there. It's a good way to get exercise. Yeah, it's been a very nice, warm, welcoming community, though. I think that's one of the biggest things. Sumo is really, really fun. It's a great, entertaining, dynamic way to have America's obesity epidemic and physical fitness just meet together in a great tachi-ai.
That was good.